And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals of ESL Open Cup Europe number 206. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Predictions are open for the next 2 minutes, so place your bets on who you think will advance on to the grand finals. Will it be our Protoss or our Zerg? Up to you to decide. As we load on in and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the red Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. Going for a 15-15, it is Wayne. Here we go. Again, really interesting opener here that Wayne has fallen in love with against Zergs, against Terrans, against Protoss. We've seen it before tonight, and we're most likely going to be seeing it again as well if he does progress here in this tournament. To wind it back to the Zacurus, 15 hatch into a 15 pool here in ZVP means that you do not get blocked. You do not get forced into expanding elsewhere into the linear third base or the triangular third. So Wayne is able to get his expansion up and running without too much issue. The downside to this opener is that you do have delayed gases, but gas isn't the most important resource early on against Protoss anyway, so you can afford to delay your gases. You can afford to delay your lings as well, just focusing on queens and drones for a little bit longer than normal. So Wayne is going to try to recover. And is actually going into a bit of a faster gas geyser here. Okay, as opposed to his ZVTs where he delays it a little bit longer. Behind this, Krystianer just going for a gate expand into the cyber core. Standard stuff so far. And yeah, we did get some updates in the chat. I believe Gung Fu Banda did take down Jeshi 2-1, went all the way to the ace match, and Gung Fu Banda is going up against Coffee in the upper semifinals. Again, really good matches. So it means both semis are starting at around the same time. Both semis are lined up here. I believe Wardy is going to be covering that alongside TKL. TKL, of course, one of the French casters, I believe. Meanwhile, we are here with Indy, the Polish caster. Indy! Birds of a feather flock together. For those who don't know, Indy is a turkey. He's beautiful. So for now, we are getting into our tech of choice. Krystianer is going to be going for a Stargate opener here. He's going to be going Oracle first. Now, we have seen quite a lot of Krystianer's PvZs recently, especially during the House Open Cups. For those who maybe don't tune into those, the House Open Cup is a bi-weekly Polish-only tournament, and we have seen Krystianer face off against a laser many a time, and Krystianer can be quite terrifying. He has a very unique style. Very similar to Creator, very similar to even Geralt as well. Where yes, you go for Oracle-based openers, you go into a third base, but you go into these Immortal-based pushes, Immortal Archon-based pushes as the follow-up. Meanwhile, the first two laps they get across the map, the Queens are in position. The Lings, they do take chase. They are in hot pursuit, and they're going to be able to shut down at least one of those adepts. The boys are being pulled once again, and can we get another drone? Oh, we can. 2 workers go down. Can we get a third? We barely do get a third as well. 3 drones for 2 adepts. Let's say a bit of a costly trade for Krystianer, basically 1 for 1. But he does get a full scout off. He confirms the lack of additional gases, the lack of Roach Warren. Very important. Wayne is typically an aggressive player, so making sure that there is nothing crazy, nothing on the up and up. Oracle goes in, but that's a lot of hull damage. We get 1 drone for almost a kill on the Oracle. That is not the trade we were looking for. A little bit brutal there from Krystianer. Meanwhile, delayed third. This is looking like a 2-base all-in. We go for a Gateway Explosion, Twilight Council, and a Robo-delayed Forge as well. I say this looks like a 2-base all-in. We have seen Krystianer do this before. It's very committed play here from Krystianer. Only 1 Oracle, but he will expand. It's going to be a delayed third base, but a third base nonetheless. As we are just prioritizing, working towards Charge, +1, Archons, Immortal production. Ooh, we are going for a Prism first, by the way. But again, he's attempting to expand and will eventually do so. The first time I saw this, I'm like, 2-base all in. But he's done this a lot against Krystianer, and it's just a delayed third. We've seen him a lot against a laser, and it's just a delayed third. I'm not too fond of this build of choice from Krystianer. It is very unique in the sense that he's the only player that does this. It's a very, very heavy delay on the third base, and you do fall behind economically as a result, and you're investing in so much tech here that the Zerg player, if they recognize what's going on, they're able to drone up so heavily. They can take a 4th base uncontested and just drone up to 73 if they so choose to. Meanwhile, to make up for it, Krystianer is going for some Archon drop harass. Going for some Archons. Shouldn't really be warping in any Zealots behind this. We still don't have charge, still working on Forge and +1. The Archons are moving out. It's going to be, the pressure is on Krystianer to get damage done, going for the stasis trap into the natural. We do pull back in time. Oh, we do pull back. One drone gets caught out there. The Queen barely survives as well, and we will force back the Prism. At the same time, Adept's going to be threatening a dive towards a 3rd. Wayne getting caught out of position. 1 drone, 2 workers go down. This is getting damage done. 3 drones. Can we get a 4th? Oh, we should. We barely do get a 4th drone. Can we get 5? Barely not, but 4 workers for 2 Adepts. A much better trade this time here from Krystianer, and he's not done. He's following this up with those Archons. And Wayne is having a hard time keeping up here. Queen is gonna not go down, just barely survives. The Archons are getting very low. We have to be careful. We do trade efficiently against those Lings, and we keep the Archons alive. At the same time, the Oracle comes into the natural. The Spore isn't done! The Spore was cancelled earlier. So we get another couple of drones, forcing back the Oracle. And Krystianer, he's making this worth his while. Remember, there was a lot of pressure on Krystianer to trade because of how late his expansion is, and because of how late his transition is as well. His upgrades, I should say, specifically. So, yeah, so far so good. He's able to get up to a pretty respectable worker count. 68, soon to be 69. Nice, like Wayne. Also nice. Meanwhile, Wayne is teching. He's going Roach Ravager into an Infestation Pit. This looks like Roach Ravager Hydra Lurker. Looks like a little bit of a longer game on the horizon here for Wayne. Ooh, Oracle does go down. I bring this up just because of the Infestation Pit. This should be leading to a Hive, and this should lead into Hydras and Lurkers. In my mind, that makes sense. But we'll see if that's the case. There we go, Hive is on the way, and we should soon be seeing the Hydra Den. Meanwhile, Wayne, he's droning up, saturating his bases, getting up to 72 workers. Not a bad worker count. And there's that Hydra Den. So, yep, it is going to be into a Hydra Lurker. Eventually Viper. So Wayne, he's just going to be droning up to 80 and taking a more defensive position here. Now, typically we could see him rush into this tech and get away with it and race his opponent there. But Krystianer has done a really good job at just stifling the economy and slowing Wayne down. So we are rushing into Lurkers, true, but not as fast as we otherwise could have. Thanks to the harassment here of Krystianer. One Zealot does go down. We do go for the Oracle in towards that natural as well. We do get eyes on the Hydra Den. Storm already on the way. Immortal production as well. And Krystianer, he's building up this death ball of an army. Immortals, Archon, Storm. No Colossi, no Sky Toss. It is ground toss. It is ground oriented. But we could try to hit a timing before Lurkers, or even if there are Lurkers, we could still just have too much here. Storm is about to finish. We are pushing. There we go. Reinforcements are on the way. War Prism is across the map. Forcing Wayne to turn back around. Lurker Den is in production, but it's not done yet. We do have Queens in position. That Prism is going to be turned away. But the main army of Krystianer is still terrifying. 6 Immortals. 4 High Templar. 4 Storms. There's the first. A little bit premature. We have 3 more Storms left. We have to make them count. So far, a much better Storm here on the army. We have 2 remaining. Here come the reinforcements. Prism does go down in the main, and we do dive forward. There's the 3rd Storm, and there's the final Storm. Does connect on the Hydras. The Immortals are trying to break through, but do we have enough to support them? Do we have enough Zealots? It looks like we do. The Immortals, they break through the Roaches. They get on top of the Ravagers. Wayne is being forced back. Queens are coming forward again. The Prism did go down, so the Queens can be a part of the army now. Vipers are on the way. Lurkers are morphing in. Krystianer, he is so close. He is so close to breaking Wayne right now. Can he get on top of this before the Lurkers finish? Even if they do, it may be too much. Lightning Cloud is thrown down, but it may not matter. There are just too many Immortals. We have 6, 7 Immortals with the main army, but no, we get on top of them. They cannot protect each other. They're so exposed. 1, 2 Immortals go down. And the Lurkers, they do finish. Wayne, he barely holds on here. Gets a one final Immortal towards the end. The Viper survives. The Lurkers are out. Wayne, he has successfully made it to Hydra Lurker Viper. The composition he needs against any kind of ground toss composition or ground toss army. Robotics Bay is now on the way, but this Bay, it's late. It's a late Bay. Late tech transition into Disruptors or Colossi. Either or could help. Krystianer, he still has a pretty hefty Immortal count. Still 8 Immortals. Pushing on Degree. Looking to deny this hatchery. But here comes Wayne from behind. That's a lot of Lunkers. Yeah, big spine shots going off, triggering those shields. One Lurker goes down, but we get an Archon. Storm is going to be zoning Wayne away. We yoink! We get an Immortal. We get 2. Oh. You can see the power of the Viper at the same time as Zealot counterattack, but we have Spine Crawlers in position. We will be able to deal with this. We do catch a couple of Morphing and Lurkers. We get 1, 2. And we are getting on top of the army. We get a 3rd Lurker as well. Big Storm on the Hydras. But this army, it's just too small. There just isn't enough here. It doesn't feel like there is enough here. The army supplies are still very comparable though. And here come the reinforcements. Let's go. 7 Immortals, a massive amount of charge lots. We're pushing in. We are pushing on forward. We're getting on top of the Lurkers as well. The Lurkers, they're going down on their own. They are so fragile. The Lurkers, they're getting picked off. Hydra's trying desperately here to hold on. That was a brutal trade. Most of the Lurkers went down. This hatchery has been broken. God, such a scrappy style here from Krystianer. It's just hyper aggressive. Like, you have to be constantly attacking, constantly in the face of the Zerg. Otherwise, the Zerg will get out of control. We take down the 5th. Krystianer getting his own 5th. Now we're pushing in. We're doing 1 more Immortal. How many Lurkers do we have? 4. Only 4 Lurkers. So many went down in that last fight. I want to say like 5 died earlier. Good split against the Storm. We do have a Nova. We have 1 Purification Nova in the chamber. It's going to go up. It doesn't connect. Good trade there for Wayne. Loses the Ravager, but does get on top of the Archons. Going to another Immortal. Good pickups here from Wayne. Yeah, Krystianer still trading so well. Oof. Shaves off more of those Hydras. 7 more Lurkers are in production. Krystianer still just continuing to reinforce with Archons. And his Immortal count still looking strong. Again, he's pumping out 2 Immortals at a time. Soon to be 3 Immortals at a time with another Robo. Krystianer's got so much gas in the bank. Pushing forward. Big Nova. Oh my, massive connection on the Hydras. That one Viper trying to put in some work there. Gets an Archon. Not ideal. Krystianer is going to rotate around. So let's have to be careful. Another Nova is available. Oh, and it does connect. Juicy connection on the army, but that's a lot of Lurkers. But it may not matter. It doesn't matter in the end. Nova goes off. We're getting on top of them, and it looks like Krystianer has finally broken Wayne. GG gets called. Krystianer takes game number 1. Whew. GG, but a very, very tense game there. Oh my god. Once the ball got rolling, once Krystianer got into his death ball of an Immortal-based army, he just did not stop, was just constantly in the face of Wayne, never allowing him to get up to a high Lurker count. I think at most, Wayne ever only had like 6 Lurkers at most. Would just constantly lose them over and over again. Never got up to additional Vipers either. Krystianer, he was just always in his face, always trading well. But I don't understand. Glide just Glide, he's our Russian caster. He just messaged me, quack. I don't know why. I approve though. I approve. Quack, puppy, quack. GG as we're getting into game 2. Here we go. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Solaris, we have the red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. Down in the series, looking to fight back, hoping to fight back. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss from the land of Poland, representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer. Last second bet on Krystianer. The quota was too good to pass this opportunity up. I mean, Krystianer, he's a really strong player, and again, this playstyle is very unique to him as well. Just building up this like heavy immortal count, immortal Archon, and just sending it basically, just forcing the issue, forcing these fights. But it's very much so on a knife's edge. Like one bad fight, and then Krystianer will just lose control of the map and of the game. So just a very risky way to play. But a lot of this is because Krystianer, he was able to, again, stay on top of the economy, right? We saw the constant harass, the Adepts, the Oracles, the Zealot counterattacks as well, the Archon drops. He was able to get enough damage done to allow Krystianer to get into his delayed tech, into his third base economy, into his fourth base economy. Wayne, at a certain point, he just never had the breathing room, never had the freedom to harass and to punish any of these bases of Krystianer, just because he was forced to keep everything back at home. Just because Krystianer was just constantly in his face, whether it was harassing initially or with his main army as well. So Krystianer, he could just sustain himself. And Wayne never able to get up to critical mass of Lunker. And with that, getting into game 2. Now, I'll be honest, I expect Krystianer to play the same. I've seen him like just go up against a laser and do the same build 3 games in a row. He has diversity, don't get me wrong, he has a little bit of a variety to him, and he has other playstyles available. Like he can play standard, he can play triple Oracle into a third into plus something Stalkers. Like, he can totally do it. But this style that he just whipped out against Wayne, it is his go-to. It's his comfort zone, you know? It's like it's pizza on a Friday night. Okay? It may not be good for you, but it's wholesome. it's hearty. Feels good. Feels like home. Don't you speak duck? Quack. I have to quack in the chat. It just caught me off guard because like I don't really interact with Glide. Like when it comes to the other foreign casters, I interact with some of them. Like I'm very close with like Cosmos, who's the Portuguese caster, Enki, the Spanish caster, Indy, Polish caster, Maralekos from Germany. Not as close with Glide or like with like TKL or Funka or Naruto. But I appreciate the quack. As some Lings, they do manage to slip by the army. Oh my god, they get into the mineral line. Don't quite get much done though, but they do force some inefficient mining. They slip up into the main. They may find a probe. Oh, not quite. Looks like they will get one worker here in the natural. Adepts, they're forced back home. Wayne, he gets a free scout and he gets 2 probe kills. They're even forcing back the army, and more Lings are coming in. No, the wall! The wall is not a wall. We get a surround. One Adept is going to go down, but the Oracle does race back home. We save the Adept in the end. We force back the Lings, but we still wreak havoc. We get a 3rd probe, and we just keep the army back home. Keep him busy while Wayne is droning and cranking out those queens. 2 queens at the natural, 2 queens in the main. Soon to be some queens here at the 3rd base. So, pretty chaotic start here. Looking at the slots, was this worth it? 14 Lings for 4 probes. I mean, again, it wasn't just that worker damage. It was also getting a full scout, confirming the lack of 2nd Oracle. Seeing the lack of 2nd Oracle, this looks like the same build. As I mentioned before, this should be into a Robo, Twilight Council, Charge, Archons. Adepts are moving out, yes, but that's 5 Adepts. Pretty standard here from Krystianer. Still being active, gets a drone. Gets a 2nd. Gets 2 workers. We're reinvesting. We're making a 2nd Oracle. Okay, interesting. It is a because we lost 1. I see. We're rebuilding our 1st. Adepts, they do threaten to dive here towards the 3rd base. Coming to the shade, we get into the main, but Lings, they were on the chase. They did keep up, but the Lings, they're being cleaned up as well. We do get into the mineral line. 2, 3 workers go down. We're getting a 4th. We're getting a 5th. This is becoming a bit much. This is becoming a little bit too much here. 6 drones fall. We'll clean up the Adepts, and we're going into Ling Bane behind this. Ling Bane into Hydra. No roaches. No roaches from Wayne. We're sending everything across the map. The wall! Oh my, it's on the wall! We do wall off just in time with the Warped and Stalkers, but the Lings, they get good surface area on the Cyber Core. Oracle's going to be going ham. We force the activation of the Pulsar Beam. We do head towards our third base. Good positioning there with those Adepts. Again, we're just forcing this Oracle to run out of energy, and once it does, we can pull the trigger. Second Oracle arrives. Third Oracle's on the way. These Lings, they have a lot of potential, but they haven't achieved too much yet. Oh, and Wayne is behind. All these Lings could have been drones. As a result, Wayne, he's 45 workers to 53. He's down 10 workers. Yeah, he needs to get damage done. He needs to trade. These Lings, they have to gain some kind of value here. Behind this, +1, charge, Archons. Very similar to last game. This should be leading into a Robo for Immortal production and a saturated third base. Krystianer, he's in a good position. Again, all these Lings just not quite worth it here for Wayne. He's got +1 melee, but doesn't even matter. The Oracle getting a scout off. We're going into Mutas. I assumed it was going to be Lingbane into Hydra. It's Lingbane into Muta, and the Revelation gets eyes on the Spire as well. Krystianer, he sees all, he knows all, and hopefully he respects this. Now, because of Krystianer's playstyle, there's no Blink. No Blink. We will have some Archons, but no Phoenixes either. I hope that we're able to prepare in time for these Mutas. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, man. It's the Oracles, they dip between the bases. One worker does get picked off. Wayne getting ready for his own lane counterattack. That's a massive gateway explosion, by the way. It looks like Krystianer, his answer here is to push with mass charge lot Archon. His answer here to the potentially Mutas is to ignore the Mutas and just go for a big all-in across the map. How many gateways? We have, oh, quite a lot on the way. 4 more in production, in addition to the 6 that we already have, so it's going to be 10 gates. 10 gate all-in on 3 bases. Let's go. As many Archons as we can muster. Now, Wayne isn't making Mutas. He has the Spire, but I love that he's respecting this army. He does see it with the Overlord, and he's making as many Roaches as possible. We need the Roaches to survive. Big lane counterattack. We get into the third base, and Krystianer, he's all in. He's all in. He's coming back home with the Oracles, but we're committing with everything else. We are pushing out across the map. But back at home, the Lings, they're not getting much done. The Oracles, they will clean this up. Good defense. A good defense here by Krystianer. He maintains his economy, but the Roaches do force him back. Again, he was hoping to catch a Ling army, not Roach Ravager. He was hoping for Mutas, not a ground army. So Wayne, he does force his opponent back. He wins out on the mind games. Mutas are on the way. Queens are coming forward. Only 5 Mutas, so this is enough Mutas to harass, to one-shot workers, and to shut down Oracles and Prisms. So only a harassing force of Mutas. Meanwhile, Krystianer pulls back. Now, the plus side for Krystianer is that even though he wasn't able to kill Wayne, even though he was hoping for Lings and Mutas, he did preserve his army. He did pull back with his Archons. He's getting into Immortal production, into Storm. His army is still looking solid here. But here come the Mutas, and Wayne trying to pounce on an unsuspecting army as well, but going for the Archons. We do get on top of the ramp. 1 Archon goes down. Late reaction out of Krystianer. Very late reaction. 2 Archons fall. And Wayne, he's going to be able to snowball out of control. There's no shield battery. It wasn't remade. No shield battery. No overcharge. We kite back, respecting these Zealots. But the Zealots are going down. The piles don't quite connect. Meanwhile, the Mutas are still in the main base. Not too many of them. Most of them went down. Oh, good force field. Krystianer taking a pretty good fight here. At the same time, had some Zealot harass across the map. Zealot in the main base. 7 workers. Not too bad. 7 workers do go down. But Wayne, he's just doubling down on Roach Ravager production. Plus 2 range on the way. Wayne, he's remaxing, and he's hoping to break the back of Krystianer. Krystianer, he just doesn't have much left. Doesn't have much left over. Next is spotted, the would-be 4th. Wayne, he's going for the kill. He's going for the Immortals. He gets 1. Oh my god, big storm here, but he gets 2 Immortals. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my god, the storms are pretty impressive. But the PvZ take down an Oracle. We have more Roach Ravager amassing. Lings are on the way as well to help reinforce, to help buffer. That's a lot of Ravagers. 11 Ravagers on the way. And it's just a numbers game at this point. Krystianer just doesn't have what he needs. The Lings, they slip in. Well, they almost do. Storm's going to be connecting. Big Storm's on the army. Wayne did sit in it. But we're closing the distance. We're running out of Storms, running out of units here. Krystianer, he's up against the wall. He's doing what he can. Archons are on the way. But there's just too much Zerg. It looks like Wayne is going to be forcing that ace match. GG gets called, and Wayne ties up the series 1-1. We are going to game 3. Let's go. Let's go. We're going all the way to game number 3. And it'll all end on our next map. It'll all end in this next game. And again, I do approve of what Krystianer was doing, but it was very bold of him. It was very obvious that he had... It was very obvious that he had seen the Spire. And as a result, very mature decision out of Wayne. Did not do anything with it. Didn't make any mutas. Double down on Roach Ravager, luring his opponent into a trap, essentially, where a mass Archon army rocks up Archon Charge Lot. He's like, alright, I'm here for the mutas. And there were none. There were no mutas. It was Roach Ravager instead. And yeah, as a result, Krystianer, he was in a really awkward position from that moment. Did lose map control, didn't have a 4th base. He was pretty all in. That was meant to be a kill move. That was meant to be a kill move from Krystianer. Didn't do anything. Didn't do enough. Now we're getting into the ace match, into game number 3. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of side Delta, we have the red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle, tying up the series 1-1, forcing the ace match. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer. Been forced into game 3, and this could still go either way. Will it go the way of the Zerg or the Protoss? Up to you. I mean, it was up to you to decide. It was in that first game for the predictions. Oh boy. Here we go. Drone, where are we going? Dark, is that you? As we are sending our first drone across the map. Okay, so it's going to be a hatch first from Wayne. It's still going to be a hatch first here, but it should be a hatch into hatchery, as the drone is going to be rocking up across the map. No early spawning pool. This is looking like a hatch block. This is looking to try and disrupt the economy, but there's a probe on the low ground. Uh-oh, which means, yeah, the drone does rock up, but yeah, we have to throw down immediately gas and spawning pool. We had the money to throw down a hatchery, but went for the gas and spawning pool instead, forcing a bit of an overreaction here with the probes. And yeah, this opener a little bit lackluster here for Wayne. So essentially, again, his goal here was to throw down the hatchery here at the natural. But as soon as he saw the probe was in position, he threw down the gas and spawning pool. That means that the gas and spawning pool is actually a little bit late for Wayne, just because he was hoping for the hatchery, but was denied it. The drone is going to be shut down. Oh, the drone actually escapes. we waddle away. Did manage to waddle back home and go back to mining. We've been on a journey. It's been a long journey, Papi, but we made it. We made it back. It was crazy. I was almost a hatchery. Come back home. Come back home. And we will be settling into a much more standard game. There was potential for some shenanigans from Wayne, but does pull back, and we'll be soon taking his third. I think speed is on the way. We pull out of gas. It's going to be a Stargate opener from Krystianer once again. Now, we have seen him go for Charge Lot Archon variations so far, every game of this series. Will it continue here in Game 3? I assume so, but we'll see. We shall see. So for now, it should be an Oracle first into a third base, and then we can talk about our tech afterwards. Adept is rocking up. Let's rock up here at the natural. Krystianer still just waiting for his second adept here before he can really commit and really dive in. There we go with that second adept arriving. We can now actually threaten drones. 2 adepts do one-shot workers, bear that in mind. As we do shade into the main. There we go, we commit to the shade. We dive into the main base, 2 drones go down, and we get a third as well. Very nice pickups here from Krystianer. Ooh, even getting a 4th. And a 5th as well. Bappy. Ay, ay, ay. 5 workers go down. The Oracle yet to arrive as well, looking for more drone kills. There is nothing here at the 3rd. Spores are finishing up. Queens are in position. We should be able to deflect this without losing too much. No, we commit anyway. We get 2 more. 3 more. A little bit greedy there, but 8 drones go down in total. Lings come in for a counterattack, but we have an adept in position. We wall off, and we should be able to commit to the shade and get to the other side of that wall. Solid defense here from Krystianer. Behind this, once again, delayed forge. It's going to be a Robo and a Twilight Council. This should be for Immortal production, should be for charge. Actually, no, we shouldn't be making charge yet. This should be into a faster Temple Archives, into Immortals, Archons, then into delayed charge of +1. That's typically how Krystianer does this. Fun fact, this is the same build as Game 1. Delayed third. A delayed third base in favor of Archon production. There it is. Prism is on the way. Temple Archives is done. Sorry, Twilight Council is done. Temple Archives is on the way for those Archons. So we're going to be going for a delayed Archon drop. As the Prism moves out, warps in the High Templar, and then morphs in those Archons. So a very unorthodox style here. Wayne is throwing down a safety Roach Warren as he feels like he's in a bit of danger. I don't blame him. The Nexus is late, so this looks like a Twilight Council opener. Lings are on the way to help defend. Adepts say do threaten another shade here towards a 3rd, but Wayne is in position. Wayne does force Krystianer back. There are those Archons. There are those Archons from Krystianer. Forge still in production. We catch the Adepts. They pick up. Adepts are going to be going down. But the Archons, they make their way towards that mineral line. Immortal production has commenced. Should be getting into +1 and charge soon. So as we are camping, the eggs will be up. We'll end up catching a couple of drones, question mark. We go for the Queens. Oh no! Oh my god, that was so close. We almost lost the Archons. But yeah, not the best trade. We denied mining time, but we didn't get a queen. Lings are in for a counterattack. They run into Zealots. Oh my god, and we can maybe pick off some probes. We get 1. 1 worker goes down. Meanwhile, Stasis trap into the natural. Only catches 1 drone. The Oracle has to get the hell out of here, going for another Stasis. Oh god. As we have to get the hell out of there. Archon's coming to the main. Queen's not in position. We will get drones this time. We get 1. We get 2. Oh, we're going to get more than that. So we get up to 5 workers. From here, we can pick up, unload here towards the 3rd base. And Wayne, he's being pulled apart. He's not in position. Ay, ay, ay. Going for a queen as well, forcing a transfuse. And it looks like we get an Overlord, not quite the queen. Again, behind this, we're just building up the Immortal army as we saw in Game 1. We are delaying charge by quite a lot. I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't. There we go. I'm like, we should have started it by now. Charge down the way. I think that was an oversight. We had the money for it. Bit of an oversight from Krystianer. But he's building up his Immortal and Archon-based army. And he will eventually be pushing. By the time he pushes, he's going to have a lot of Immortals. And a lot of Sentries. A lot of Force Fields. Going to be a hefty push. Archons, they get more drones here. How many? 16 in total. An entire mineral line has gone down. This is not insignificant. 16 workers is massive. And we're not done. Stasis trap here towards that natural. Wayne, he's still stuck on 66 workers, just now getting a 4th. Economically, Wayne, he's struggling. He's still just trying to re-drone as much as he can. And now roaches are on the way. We're cutting workers a little bit earlier than normal. We're droning up a little bit further here. Meanwhile, we have Storm. fourth base. Krystianer just building himself up here again. How many immortals? 5 immortals. Soon to be 6. And we have a second robo finishing up for double immortal production. This can also lead into disruptors, which is also what we saw previously. But because we're going into Storm, it should just be Immortal Archon Storm charged. Okay. And Wayne, this tech transition is very late. Because of his delayed economy, because 16 drones have fallen so far, we're just now getting into Hive Tech, into Hydras, into Lurkers. As we saw on Oceanborn, Lurkers, they can defend against this, but we don't have them anytime soon. And I believe Krystianer is going to be hitting before Lurkers, which means Wayne has to rely on Roach Ravager, which is normally okay, as the Prism is coming into the main. The problem is that it's Roach Ravager against 6, 7, 10 Immortals. Soon to be 10 Immortals. Oh my god. We're on 7 right now. We're about to have 9, and we can just make another way from there. It's crazy how many Immortals we will have. Lurker Den in production. We get the Zealot drop into the main. Only 3 Zealots though, as they are going to be cleaned up. Same time, the main army is going to be clashing. While they graze that sentry. Sentry does survive. Yo, I think he wants his High Templar. The Vials! Can he get them? Storm's going to be thrown down. The High Templar, they do survive. Krystianer has to be very careful with his control here. Does zone back the army. He's got, I think, 2 Storms left. Soon to be 3. Decent force fields. Prism going to be warping in a wave of Zealots heading towards that third. Hydras are in production. Lurkers as well. Wild's going to be forcing back the army for a moment. Lurkers are in production. We don't have detection. We don't have an observer with the main army. Ooh, Wild does connect. Meanwhile, Zealots are getting in. They get 5 more workers. Big storm, massive storms on the Hydras. And we still have more storms available. I think we have 2, maybe 3 left. Ay. Krystianer, he's breaking through. He takes down the 4th base. Big storm once again on the Hydras as well. We're getting on top of the Immortals. But we are softening up this army. The Immortals, they're going ham. GG gets called. Krystianer, he has too much. He takes down 15 drones at the same time, and Krystianer will advance on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Again, Wayne just took too many economic losses there, lost too many drones, slowed down too much, and Krystianer, he snowballed out of control with that massive mortal-based army. Again, we saw Wayne was trying to tech into Hydras and Lurkers, but he just lost too many workers. He lost too many drones in the process, was too delayed, was too late when it comes to his Lurker production. And the Immortals, they reigned supreme. They really proved their worth and proved their name there. Not dying, refusing to die, shutting everything else down. GG, well played. GG, and with that, Krystianer advances on to the grand finals where he has his opponents ready and waiting. Who's it gonna be? Let's find out. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. As we quickly just check here, and we have our results coming in. Check out the Wikipedia page. Hold on, I got you covered. I got you covered. As we do switch on over